What it is, folks, it's your homeboy first. And it's been a minute since I talked to y'all about some real shit. Uh, as I stated on my other video that I did about suicide. I hope y'all check that out. If you haven't, make sure you do that and share it, especially to those who need it. But as I stated in that video, I apologize. Haven't talked to y'all about real life issues in a minute. I've been so preoccupied with my sports show, put it on some. But I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. Okay. So today I want to talk to y'all, man, about Jackson water crisis. Because there are some lessons to be learned from this crisis. See, when something happens, we got to learn from it. Whatever the case is, good or bad, we have to learn from that event. Because if it's something good that happened, we need to look at it, learn from it, and see how we can replicate that. But in this case, something awful happened. And so we must learn from this and try to prevent this shit from ever happening again. Okay. So, 5 lessons from the Jackson water crisis. Lesson number 1 is that I hope all of us have a new appreciation for water. We must understand the value of water. I've been thinking for some time now, even before this latest instance of the Jackson water crisis occurred, but I just been thinking for the longest. Maybe it goes all the way back to my younger days when I found out that when motherfuckers go to another planet, the first thing they look for is water. So what I've been thinking for the longest is whoever controls water controls life. That's the first thing that scientists look for when they go and put these things on other planets with these little drones or robots they have going to Mars or whatever to go on the moon. And they try to go find water because the thought is if there's water, then there is life as well. You know what I'm saying? So whoever controls water controls life. I was reading something, some article, and it stated that wars in the future may be over water, drinkable water. So I hope we all have a new appreciation for water, man, and don't just take it for granted. I know I don't. Quite often, when I turn on my faucet in my house and I see that water come out, I just say thank you, God. I do. Just say thank you, God. Because I don't take that for granted. I think about when Jay-Z went over to some part of Africa, and I don't like to just generalize Africa like that. I hate doing that. But I really just don't remember the exact location that he went to. Okay. But he went somewhere and they didn't have running water. And so he used his money uh to build them a well and stuff like that. There was some situation like this little girl had to walk a considerable distance, like down the hill, and they had to come back up the hill with the water and stuff like that. And Hove was like, he cared and it was taxing for him. And so he was thinking about, y'all got to do this all the time. And so it made him check himself And like, damn, I call myself being from struggle. I call myself being from that shit. If you listen to old Hove, especially, where he's still talking about street shit and hood shit and where he come from, he talks about Marcy projects and all this stuff. If you grew up with holes in your zapatos, you celebrate the minute you were having dough, all this type of shit where he pointed out he was broke. It's the hard knock life, all that. And he said, damn, poverty is relative. Because compared to these people, I had it made. You know what I'm saying? You can't take that shit for granted. It's the most valuable commodity on earth. It's water. Water. Now, I know some get comfortable because they might say, I don't drink no tap water. All I do is drink bottled water. I was watching some on that. Damn bottled water hustle. I didn't know that for bottled water, most of the companies, the big time companies, especially the companies that be selling this shit in bulk, just your average bottle of water, not your designer shit, all that kind of stuff. Just your average bottle of water that people be having, passing out at church, passing out at school, passing out at events and all that kind of shit. Just your typical water you have at your house. That shit tap water. That's tap water. The companies use the same damn water that everybody else use, so they getting it for the low, whatever your water is. I mean, they getting that water, and then they just go do some shit to it. And, I guess take it through the filtration process. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that some of the stuff they take out of it is some good stuff too. Didn't know that. And I was reading another article that talked about how much plastics we are ingesting into our bodies. And part of that is by drinking so many beverages that come in out of plastic containers. So scientists really don't know quite yet how that affects us by ingesting these small little things of plastic. Water, man, it's valuable. It's valuable. So don't take it for granted. We must do everything in our power to make sure we keep clean, usable water. Because even for the people that drink bottled water, let's say you ain't worried about ingesting plastic and all that kind of shit, still had to bathe, still had to brush your fucking teeth, gotta cook. Again, it's most valuable commodity on earth. Second lesson from the Jackson water crisis is that we need to be more proactive rather than reactive. We need to be more proactive rather than reactive in this downtrodden state of Mississippi. Poorest state in the union. That's something that's been really put out there quite often right now due to this Brett Favre, Phil Bryant, Tate Reeves, welfare scandal. Everybody want to highlight that we are the poorest state. But one of the things that's not being said is that we're one of, if not the most generous state as well. We don't have much, but what we do have, we often are quick to give to those that are in need. Crazy, ain't it? With all the shit, the poverty and the undereducation, the miseducation, the uneducation, the racism, the sexism, we're still known as the hospitality state. Still no, we're still that state that folks gonna tell you yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and speak to you on the street even if they don't know you. And when your ass don't have any water, we'll go to the store and buy it up for you and send it to you. I know Coach Prime was talking about Deion Sanders. We're talking about all the water that they had stacked up. I know churches bought water, sent it to people in Jackson. Philanthropic groups throughout the state, shit around the country, sent water. But all that is reactive, y'all. All of that is reactive. And it's good. I'm not saying that should not happen. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we must take preventative measures. We can't wait till shit jump off. We can't wait till shit gets bad to all of a sudden spring to action. We must be proactive on the front end. We've seen this movie before. Jackson is not the first place that this happened to. See Flint, Michigan. See other municipalities throughout the country. Hell, this ain't the first time this has happened in Jackson. But for some reason, when it happens and when the problem gets temporary fixed, when the problem gets a temporary fix, people go back into their comfort zone and nothing is done until shit hits the fan again. So we must be proactive instead of just reactive. In this moment right now, where it seems like that thing is fixed and people have drinkable water now and shit like that, still people should be raising hell. Still people should be tweeting at the senators and the representatives and the governor and the mayor and the city council and trying to raise awareness and trying to get motherfuckers in here to fix the infrastructure of Jackson. Be proactive so this shit won't happen again. Now I'm talking about Jackson, but hell, this can be the case for wherever you are throughout the world. Hell, every hood the same. You feel me? So these lessons can apply to wherever. So if you somewhere that you know y'all infrastructure fucked up, you saw what just happened in Jackson, saw that shit look like motherfucking coffee coming up out of the damn faucet, that shit can happen to you. Be proactive. Don't wait till it happens. Be proactive. Go ahead and do something about it now. Number 3, the third lesson from the Jackson water crisis is this. Please don't be one of those people. Please don't be one of those people that says, oh, I don't do politics. No, I don't keep up with this shit. I don't do no politics. No, folks. Stop it. Stop that shit now. Stop it today. Stop it today. You can't say that and then be dependent on the government for some motherfucking water. You can't say that. You can't say you don't do politics and then when your water fucked up, you look at the governor and the mayor and say, why y'all ain't fix it? Because that's politics. To say that you don't do politics is to say that you don't do life. The fucking politicians create the rules that govern our lives, and we put them there. Or if you don't participate, you sit on the sidelines while others put them there. So then you don't even participate in the rule making, but you still feel the consequences of the rule maker's decisions. Whether it be pipes, sewage, whether it be your streets, whether it be your garbage being picked up, whether it be where a stop sign is placed or where a traffic light is placed, whether it be the police, whether it be the military, whether it be the teacher, the school board, the school curriculum. God damn it, all of this is politics. It's all politicians, elected officials making these damn decisions. So you do politics because you living here. So stop that shit. Don't say that ever again. If you say that, real ones out there, hopefully that ain't you. But if you know somebody like that, goddamn, share this with them. And I'm not trying to be demeaning. I promise I'm not. Listen for understanding, not for pushing back. Get out your motherfucking feelings. It ain't about that. We trying to build. We trying to build. Okay? God told me to make change, not to be nice about it here. God told me to make change, not to be nice about it. So I'm telling you, don't feel offended. If it was you, just alter your behavior. Start paying attention. Start watching the news. Start reading. Start voting. Follow your representative on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Check up on these motherfuckers. And if they ain't doing right, vote their ass out. Show up at the motherfucking place. At them. Write a letter. Write an email. Do something. Put pressure on them. Because the rich folks do it. They keep up with them. They hold the politicians accountable. Because they want to know what the motherfucking politicians doing with their money. Because really, them all the motherfuckers they answer to is the government, so they going to keep up with it. Can't nobody else tell them what to do. You can't tell them what to do. You work for them. But the government regulating their motherfucking business. That's politics. Minimum wage, politics. Somebody fuck with you on the job, you have the right to sue. Who can't? Politics. Social Security, Medicaid, Head Start, all this shit in your daily fucking life. Politics. Don't say that shit no more. Your ass might end up without water and need a politician to fix them. You feel me? Politics. So don't say that. Number 4. Fourth lesson from the Jackson water crisis is that we got to vote in these local and statewide elections. Got to. Got to. If you watched my sports show, Put It On Some, which I hope you do, if you like sports. Me and my OG were talking about one of the many issues here in the state of Mississippi. And one of the things me and him were talking about, and I don't know if this made it into the video or not. It might have been off camera. I don't know. But I told him, I described to him what my election experience was like in 2020, the presidential election. We still in the heights of the pandemic. You know what I'm talking about? Pandemic started 2019, but It really hit for us here in America, March 2020. Everything went crazy. So November 2020, folks still fucking scared. Ain't no vaccine yet. But that fucking election was so contentious and had so much energy and had so much juice and so much attention that me and my wife stood in line for at least an hour. I'm going to say at least. It might have been more than that. People out there sitting down, folks had water. It was a long fucking time. We out there in a pandemic, masks on, everything to vote in the presidential election. And that wasn't a unique experience. People around the country were doing the same thing. But a few months ago, here in my state, we had I think there was a primary election for a congressional seat. So I went down there to vote. Now I live, in a Republican dominated state, in a Republican dominated district. So pretty much whoever the Republican is gonna win my district over the Democrat, unfortunately. Maybe that'll change if more people listen to what I'm talking about. But I went on down there to vote in the Republican primary. To choose whichever one of these motherfuckers I was gonna dance with. Shit. Walk straight in. Nothing impeding the progress whatsoever. Nothing. Walk straight in there. Didn't have to wait at all. No one else was there. But when it comes to our everyday life, like just the simple shit here, like your fucking drinking water, your streets, the jobs in your area, okay? Because we know that the laws and shit that these politicians pass, whether it be tax cuts, whether it be regulation or deregulation, all this kind of thing, what they do can attract business or run off business. You feel me? So all that kind of shit for your locale, your local and statewide officials, and then your state congressional delegation, they gonna be more impactful when it comes to that than the president. You feel me? Joe Biden don't know what the fuck going on in your school district. Joe Biden ain't riding down State Street or Northside Drive and see that this shit fucked up. Shockwave is. You feel me? So if we want some change locally, if we want change in terms of statewide, we got to get our ass out and have just as good as a turnout for that, if not more than that fucking presidential shit. Especially the way this presidential politics work in a state like Mississippi. We only got 6 electoral votes, and we got it's a Republican dominated state. It could flip. Georgia flipped. But for right here and now, the shit on the day to day, like your fucking drinking water, man, that's a local issue. And the feds try to usually stay out of local issues. They don't want to. They don't want to seem like they're imposing their will on a local matter. They don't want to overstep their bounds and be out of their jurisdiction. You know what I'm talking about? So it's not enough just to be online snapping about Tate Reeves. Not if we're not mobilizing to get his ass out of there or anybody that thinks like him. It's not enough to be asking what the hell going on with Shoquay and the city council and these motherfuckers beefing about who gonna pick up the trash. It's not enough just to be talking about it in the barbershop and in the beauty shop or online and all that shit. God damn it, we gotta participate. And that's wherever you are, whatever hood you in, around the fucking country, around the world. You gotta get involved locally, statewide, or wherever y'all are, wherever you calling your local shit. Like I know in Louisiana they call them. They don't have counties; they got parishes and shit like that. Though I know some places got different setup. But if your ass living in a democracy that's modeled after the United States of America, god damn it. They set up this federal system where you got a central government, but then you got a state government, and you got county government, you got citywide government. You got to get involved, man. You got to vote locally. And you got to hold them accountable. And you got to be aware of the issues so you can vote, so you can be an informed voter. Don't just, especially local election, be getting all into, oh, I know that I went to school with them. They my soror. That's my frat. Fuck all that. Who gonna do the job right? Who gonna have some nuts to do the job right? Who gonna have them? Cause you don't take courage. To that brother Shoquay Lumumba, the one that passed away, I revere that man. That man had some nuts on him. That man was trying to do some shit because he said the infrastructure was fucked up and he was trying to get a tax increase, if I'm not mistaken, to try to fix that shit. Shit wasn't the most popular thing in the world, but god damn it, it was needed. You see why he was saying that right now. We got to get more honorable men and women like that in office. For that to happen, we got to fucking vote. We got to participate. Number five. The fifth and final lesson we can learn from the Jackson water crisis is that these rich folks gotta fucking lead. And I'm calling out rich black people right here. I keep saying it and I'm gonna keep doing it. Those of us from the black community, a downtrodden community historically, a community that, based on many studies, has as a whole not closed the wealth gap since the civil rights movement. In fact, the wealth gap has increased. A community that was, 90% of enslaved from 1619 to 1865, systematically and legally discriminated against from 1865 to 1965, let's just say 1970. And since then, still dealing with fuck shit. A community like that is playing catch up in the richest country on earth. So we're playing catch up. We need the motherfuckers who've been allowed in this historically racist country. Those that have been allowed to go get the bag gotta step up and lead the way when it comes to shit like this. Ain't no way in the hell that Flint, Michigan, Jackson, Mississippi are black cities run by black people, and we got black billionaires who can make connects, get a contract, get a bid, bring their motherfucking ass in here and redo these cities' infrastructure. and get a profit off of it. That can happen. That can happen. Now, a motherfucker might be saying, well, you're outside of government. You don't know the political red tape that could go to stop that. Notice who I said. If you let's say you got a motherfucker like a Tyler Perry, like a LeBron, like a Michael Jordan, like a Steph, these boys with these platforms and millions of followers, and they are global influencers. If them boys put together a conglomerate to try to come together and put together a group to uh, revitalize these cities, and they green lit by the city itself that has black leadership, but then a motherfucker like Tate Reeves try to swing through and do some fuck shit, try to do some racist shit, you light his ass up. You let it be known all across your social media platforms. You let the world know. You shame the shit out of them. And watch what happens. See, those of us that they've allowed to get the bag. Fuck that lie. We earned that shit. Those of us that have earned the bag are some of the most influential motherfuckers on earth. So you play with them if you want to. Take this bullshit that's going on right now with Brett Favre and Tate Reeves and Phil Brown and shit. Brett Favre, a big motherfucker in the world of sports. Big time motherfucker. He ain't big as LeBron, Raymond James Sr. He ain't big as that motherfucker. He ain't big as Mike Jordan. He ain't big as Steph. He ain't got their bag. He ain't got their notoriety. He ain't got their fame. He ain't got none of that. If them boys or somebody of their kind, if them, it ain't even got to be, that's always at the top. If you take a group of these boys, it could be a group of role players from the league. But if they pool their money together and they come through and say, it ain't finna be no black city going through that. I'm not finna look on TV and see black people having a bag for clean water. As a black person, I'm not gonna fucking deal with it. Fuck it. Let's do something. I ain't just finna go donate no water. Fuck that. Let's look at what I told y'all Hov did when he went over there and saw that shit in Africa. He put together the money for them people to have some water every day. They ain't just give them a whole lot of bottled water. If that shit can happen over there, it can happen here. But we gotta want to do it. We gotta want to do it. Instead of doing all this fuck shit with the bag. Every fucking day that I'm on the internet, I see another one of our people that got that money going doing dumbass shit. And I'm not saying don't enjoy your life. I'm not saying don't go to the vacation spots. I'm not saying that. But some of the most frivolous shit that don't make no sense whatsoever. And then we look up and see documentaries like Broke and be shocked. This person got 8 baby mamas. This motherfucker got 12 kids. Child support out there. Motherfucker got a mansion in every city they done played in. It don't even got one in the motherfucker they ain't never played in. Oh, that man blew a $250,000 in the strip club. That man had lived lit. Motherfucker for what? And again, I'm not just saying do the shit out the kindness of your heart. I ain't even saying that. I'm being realistic. Do it as a business person. See, we gotta think outside the box with that. Everybody that get the bag, go get them a studio. They start a record label, like because you can hoop. You know something about being a you will like about you know something about being Suge Knight all of a sudden because you a damn hooper or football player. So you go do the record label. You just go do the car wash. You do the restaurant. But that shit ain't employing nobody. For real, it ain't really employing that many people. It ain't really turning that big time profit like that. You put together a firm that goes through and does infrastructure for cities, that's going to employ your people and revitalize some of these fucked up ass cities. Gonna turn you a profit, and it's tremendous PR. Straight up. So I'm gonna keep saying it. The motherfuckers need to lead. Got the bag, use it for righteousness. So that's what I got, man. 5 lessons from the Jackson water crisis. 1, know the value of water. He who controls water controls life. It is the life-giving substance. We gotta have it. We gotta have it. We gotta have it. All right. Number 2, we need to be more proactive rather than reactive. Handle shit on the front end so you don't have to deal with the bullshit on the back end. That's number 2. Number 3, stop saying I don't do politics. Because if your ass is alive, you do politics because it's all around you in every single way of your life. All of it. They got a rule for it. Okay. Number 4, vote in your local and statewide elections. Vote in your local and statewide elections. When it comes to something like water, when it comes to something like your streets and your garbage disposal, all that kind of shit, that shit is primarily handled by your local officials and your state officials. So we must participate. And lastly, 5, I call for the rich black people that already got that bag, step up and use that bag for righteousness. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. As always. 1.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?